string on fractions where we're using money to find the sums of the fractions. So we're using money as a model, and this is our third string. Okay, so we have the basic fractions like a half and a 20th. We talked about in the last videos where 1/2 is like 50 cents. So we have 50 cents, or 50 out of 100. Plus 1 out of 20, that's like a nickel. That's the focus of this string, is the nickel, right? 1/20th is 5 cents because, right, 1 nickel goes into a dollar 20 times. So each nickel is a 20th of the total. So that's equal to 5. I made the confusion there. I saw 20 and started to write 20, but that's really 5 cents, or 5 out of 100. So if I have 5 cents and 50 cents, I have 55 cents out of 100. 55 out of 100, just 55 cents. And that is equal to 0.55. Alright, so moving on to the next one, we have 3/20ths. So if 1/20th is 5 cents, 3/20ths has to be 15 cents, right? It's 3 nickels. Plus 1/4, that's a quarter. What does that equal? That equals 40 cents, or 40 out of a dollar, or 40 out of 100 pennies, which is equal to 0.4, right? 40 cents, 25 and 15. Now the next one we have 7/10ths and 2/5. Well, we talked about in the other video what is a fifth. Well, and we said that 1/5 equals 20 cents, or 2 dimes, and that comes from the idea that if I have 2 dimes and I add them up, I get 2 out of 10, right? And that's like saying 20 out of 100. And 2 over 10 is the same thing as 1 out of 5. We can think about that in many different ways, but I just think that, oh, well, 1 goes into 5 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times, so these two fractions are the same. So this is in fact 20 cents, or 2 dimes. So here we have 2 1/5ths, or 2/5ths, and that's going to equal 40 cents, right? Because if 1/5 is 20 cents, 2/5ths has to be 40 cents, plus 70 cents. And notice this is not 2 nickels, right? So that equals how many cents? It's 110 cents. And that's $1.10, or 1 1/10. So $1 and 1 dime. Now we have 6/5ths, and we have a string here, so we can use this. If 2/5ths was 40 cents, what is 6/5ths? Well, this is 6/5ths is 3 times more than 2/5ths, so it's like a 2/5 and a 2/5 and a 2/5. So that's 40 cents and 40 cents and 40 cents. 3 groups of 40 cents. That's $1.20. Plus 11/10ths. Well, every 1/10th is a dime. So 11/10ths is 11 dimes, or $1.10. Altogether, we have $2.30, or 2 3/10ths, or 2 and 30 out of 100. Okay, so we move on here, and what we have now is 1 and that's a 7, 1 7/20ths, plus 2 9/10ths. Well, 1 7/20ths, what's that? Well, that's like $1 and 7 nickels. Every 1 nickel is a 20th. So 7 nickels is 7/20ths. What is 7 nickels? Well, it's 7 times 5, right? That's 35 cents. So that's $1.35. 1.35 cents. I realize that's actually pretty confusing. Sorry about that. This looks like you have 1.35 cents, less than 2 cents, and this up here looks like 1.2 cents. I should say this is $1.35. That's what I'm trying to say here. but that's not good notation. Let me go back and fix that. Take a moment to revisit this first problem. Let me explain that again. 6/5, right? 2/5 was 40 cents, so 6/5 has to be 3 times more than that. So it's like 40 cents and 40 cents and 40 cents. That's $1.20. So really, it's 1.2. I should put a dollar sign here. It's $1.20 plus $1.10, right? Because we had 11 dimes. 10 dimes makes a dollar, and one more dime would make $1.10. That's together will equal $2.30 or 2 3/10. So now here what we have is $1.35, right? So I'll put the dollar sign there. $1.35 plus $2.09 or 9 dimes, which is 90 cents. Altogether we have $3, right? Plus 90 cents and 35 cents, which is really, how much money is that? Well, that's another $1.25. Altogether, that's $4.25, which is 4 1/4. So I think this is a pretty not friendly mixed number, and it did take us a couple of steps to get there, but I feel very confident in my answer because I'm turning these fractions into coin amounts. And last we have 10 4/5 plus 9 5/4, and there's not too much to go back on here except for the sense of what these numbers mean and how to deal with them by breaking them in parts. So we know 10 and 9 is $19 plus 4/5. Well, we knew before that 2/5 is 40 cents, so 4/5 should be double that, right? It should be 80 cents. And notice I'm using my intuition throughout this. I'm not using an algorithm. It's important to have that sense of the fractions and to look for patterns between them. That'll help you with much more difficult problems. So now we add up $9 in the next problem. We have a 9 here. And 5/4. So what does that mean? Well, 1/4 was 25 cents. That's because every 1/4 is a quarter. So 5/4 is like having 5 quarters. And if you have 5 quarters, you have $1.25. So now we add all this up. I'm going to add the dollar amounts first. We have $1, and $9 is $10, plus $19, excuse me. Oh, I made a mistake, sorry. So I added this 9 twice. When I first wrote this first 19, I added the 9 and the 10. So I don't have to add it again. Sorry about that. So 19 and $1 is $20. Plus 80 cents and 25 cents. So that's another $1.05. Altogether, that's $21.05. What's that as a fraction? Well, 5 cents is a nickel, and that as a fraction is 1/20. So this is 21 1/20. Alright, so again, we're using money to break down these sums, to keep track of them with our intuition and what we know about money to make sense of these answers and not just blindly go through them. Okay, hope that helped.